and welcome to Woodshed Reviews, where we look at films old and new, good and bad. And in today's show, we're looking at 7 films in total as we review and rank the Predator franchise.
And these include the 2 Alien vs Predator films.
Yeah, we had a brief discussion about that as to whether they were going to be included or not. And I think we both thought that that would be the case. Seven films in total, starting off obviously with 1987's Predator, directed by John McTiernan, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Dylan, we make a stand now, or there would be nobody left to go to the chopper.
There is something else. When the big man was killed, you must have wanted it. Its blood was on the leaves.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
This is followed up by
Predator 2 in 1990, I believe.
Yep, 3 years later. Yeah.
Starring Danny Glover.
No Arnie this time.
No, unfortunately, he was too busy doing Terminator 2. Otherwise, he would have been back.
Right.
There's no stopping what can't be stopped. No killing what can't be killed.
Hey, make sense, man.
This thing that's killing your people and mine is from the other side. I can feel him all around. You can't see the eyes of the demon until him come calling.
2004, we skip to this sort of crossover of Alien v Predator, a monster movie mashup, just like the old days. That was followed up quite quickly in 2007 by Alien vs Predator Requiem. And then we get back on track with the main franchise with a sort of reboot, but also a proper sequel with 2010's Predators.
We need to go.
No! You are taking me with you!
Look, you and I can still make it. We use him. We booby trap him.
No.
They'll go to him to take trophies. This is our last chance.
This isn't right. He's one of us.
He is. That's what they're counting on. They want you to feel something for this man. To be human.
And what are you?
Alive.
And it was sort of rebooted, but also a proper sequel with The Predator.
Predators. They exploit weakness, tracks its prey, like a game. Seems to enjoy it.
That's not a predator, that's a sports hunter.
Well, we took a vote. Predator's cooler, right?
And finally, recently, last year was it?
That's right, Prey.
Kind of came out of the blue a little bit for me. I'm not sure about
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah, that was exciting to see a new Predator film.
Basically what we're going to do is we've kind of watched them all in the last week or so.
Yeah.
Crammed it in 2 days.
Some of these films I hadn't seen for years, so
Right.
it was great to see them again.
Yeah. Nice to kind of see them all together. It did kind of give a different perspective to them. So we crammed them all in. We've individually ranked them from worst to best, 7 to 1. I don't know what Uisdean's picked, he doesn't know what I've picked. We're going to reveal them one at a time. Will we get into it?
Sure. So who's going first?
Number 7. I'll just get right in there, pull the band-aid off. My least, I won't say worst, we'll say least favourite of the 7 is Alien versus Predator Requiem.
Okay.
So do you want to tell me yours?
Mine is The Predator.
The Predator.
Which pains me because I'm a big fan of Shane Black, and I pretty much love everything he's written. Mm-hmm. And him, obviously, being in the first Predator film.
Yeah, he was Hawkins.
That's right.
In the first Predator film, also the first on-screen kill. As an actor in the first Predator film, he then goes on to write and direct. He wrote it with Fred Decker. Is that
That's right, yeah. So I thought if anyone's going to get it right, it would be Shane Black. So I was super excited to hear he was going to be making this film. But I think there was a lot of problems. I think there was a lot of reshoots. I think the entire last act of the film was reshot.
Yeah.
So to me, it's a huge mess. It's like that to watch. It's just all over the place.
Yeah.
I think whilst I was watching, I was thinking, oh, this is going to be quite high on my list. But then halfway through, I'm like, oh, shaking my head. It's not going well. And there's aspects I enjoyed. I loved the Predator breakout scene at the lab. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
The kid with autism, I thought that was interesting, but that didn't really lead anywhere. I think things may have changed in the last act. Yeah. And the soldiers with PTSD, but then again, they didn't really do much of them. They kind of just lost their way a bit. Just so much of the film just became lost, I thought.
Okay.
And that scene with on the spaceship at the end with the three of them, it just looked ridiculous.
Oh, when they're flying about and holding on.
Guys! Something's coming! No!
The last thing I'll say, it's a Predator killer. It just looked like something out of Marvel. It's just, it's embarrassing.
I think it's more embarrassing because it's obviously that little addendum to the film is obviously like, well, you love this film so much, here comes the sequel.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. I think it's almost too much Shane Black in the writing for me, because like every character just talks in a certain way, even like the scientists, like the main villain scientist guy. Mm-hmm. They're all just talking in this sort of vernacular.
A bit samey.
Yeah, everyone just seems to be kind of similar. The woman scientist as well, who suddenly turns into an action hero out of nowhere. And then, I like the idea of the PTSD army guys as well, but then they're all too much for me. It just does my head in. If they just toned it down a bit or had a couple of them that were a little more in the foreground, but they're all sort of like vying for the spotlight.
That's what I felt. Everyone became lost. Nobody was given enough time. There's just so many characters, and there was characters that were cut out as well. There's an actor that was in Battlestar Galactica. Okay. He had a big role, and that was all gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't know about that.
They were wanting Arnie to do a cameo at the end.
Yeah. Surprisingly, he's not done that yet, but...
Well, they've tried to get him in all the sequels, I think.
Really?
Well, most of them. But he's been too busy.
I think watching this, most of the endings of the films are quite well done. They're quite low-key, and they're not over the top. But this one is the one for me where it's that modern day movie thing where it's just like bigger, louder, crashier, and there's lots of things I would pick apart of this film. Definitely a disappointment, and I think I can understand why you've put it last, because it doesn't have the excuse of like mine's is Alien versus Predator Requiem is my least favourite, but that's got some excuses for not being the best film in the world ever. This one, Shane Black one, it's got less excuses for being so crap.
It'd be nice to see Shane Black's original cut, to see. I don't know if we'll ever see that.
Yeah, there was an ending, was there, for the
it was very different,
and tanks and stuff.
Yeah, there's two good Predators apparently that they teamed up with them, and
okay. Well, going back to that one, maybe I wasn't too keen on the goody Predator kind of trying to save humanity or something like that. Yeah, kill that Predator. And, I might as well reveal now that my number 6 is the Predator.
Okay, right, no problem.
So I did swither
Yeah.
It was close.
Yeah.
That was going to be, it was going to switch them around
Okay.
a little bit. We'll maybe talk about Requiem when it comes up in your list.
Okay.
So, what's your number 6?
My number 6 is Predators.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is good because I was worried that we were going to be too similar.
Yeah, I thought so.
But no. So, okay, Predators. This is definitely not in my bottom 2. I'll say that.
Well, like I said, I enjoyed them all, and I enjoyed this one for the most part. It's a great idea, I think. The twist there on a planet. They've been dropped not on Earth, but on a different planet.
Yeah.
Which is used as a kind of predator hunting ground.
Yeah, it's not clear if it's their home world or if it's just a sort of like place where they go to do this kind of like weekend vacation and kind of stuff that they're doing. So yeah, it's definitely a very strong kind of concept. It's I think it's a really, well, I mean, I think it does waver a little bit towards the end, but I think for me, the first hour or so is really strong.
It's pretty good. Yeah, none of the characters are particularly likable, apart from maybe Adrian Brody.
Yeah, they're all kind of like transported to this planet to be prey for the predators, or for them to toy about with them, because they're not nice people on Earth, scooped up from all 4 corners of the planet.
Yeah.
So I guess you're not really be difficult to make them likable. So yeah, I can understand that might be a problem, but I quite like it because Adrian Brody's character he's quite strong and does his job, and he's ruthless, and he kind of knows when to cut his losses and things like that.
Yeah.
There's no sort of like feigning about or anything. He's just quite, no, that guy's dead, leave him. He does obviously redeem himself at the end.
That's right.
Spoilers.
Yeah, because it looks like he's just out for himself, but he comes back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was quite cool.
Yeah.
I just felt the film took a major dip when Lawrence Fishburne appeared.
You talk too loud. Smelled you since you got here. If I can smell you, if I can hear you, they can too.
But it just didn't seem to do much with his character. I would have liked to have seen more of him.
Yeah, it's just one sequence where he's introduced himself and he's given a little bit of background and history about this planet and stuff, and then the next he's just betrayed them and then he gets killed.
Yeah, I know, it's a shame.
Yeah, I would agree that's not the strongest part of the film, and like up until that point it is pretty solid, but I definitely like it more than possibly a little more than it's higher up on the list.
Things like them realising that they're on a different planet, I think they accepted it too easily, and it wasn't really something that weighed on them.
Okay, I thought the big reveal scene was pretty cool.
I think that idea of being out of place would be quite
totally
extreme.
Discombobulating that you just would be struggling to operate. Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, it worked. I think it worked better for me overall. I've seen it a number of times, but not a huge amount. Mm-hmm. Maybe 3 or 4 times now, and I think most times I'm like, yeah, this is solid, this is decent. It's got some good ideas. It flips the whole Predator idea on its head. Good band of characters that you get to kind of know, or you can, they're not just an interchangeable smoosh or nothing like that.
Yeah, and you had the Yakuza guy. Didn't really get to know him well, but he had a nice kind of fight with the Predator.
Yeah.
They killed each other.
Yeah.
That was quite cool. But then there's lots of bits like that borrowed heavily from the original.
Yeah, I think my least favourite part of it is right at the end when Adrian Brody's character does the full-on Arnie at the end of the first film.
Yeah.
And it's copied quite heavily and it's not really earned.
It isn't, and yeah. And he even takes his top off and looks like he's breathing in.
Possibly. It was a strange choice, I would say. But brave choice, and I think he was okay.
Yeah, he was. It's better than expected when you first heard he was in it.
Yeah. They seem to have always kind of done that with these sequels. It's like, well, we can't get Arnie, so let's take a wee chance, and fair enough. The one thing I don't like about it is the Predator heat vision in this film. It doesn't look like heat vision at all. It just looks like they put like a filter you can actually see people's facial features and eyes and stuff. It's a very small complaint,
Yeah.
but it does bug me because I prefer it when it's like a proper heat vision thing because, yeah, it's more alien, I suppose.
Yeah.
It feels like. Our number 5s.
Yeah.
You go first.
Is Alien versus Predator.
Oh, that's also my number 5, Alien versus Predator. So we've got a snap there. So might as well talk about Alien versus Predator then.
Yeah, why not?
So this was the first one that did the crossover. I remember seeing it at the time. It got bad reviews, it got kicked about, but I thought it was okay.
It was.
For what it was.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it since the cinema, and it was.
Oh, really? Okay.
I really expecting to not enjoy it, but
it's
there's
not
good
great.
stuff. No,
it's not great by
it's
any
a bit.
stretch.
It's a bit cartoonish and goofy. At times, I thought.
Lex!
No one goes anywhere alone.
There's something there. Listen. Listen.
Careful, they bite.
There's, yeah, definitely that. I think for me, the characters are just, there's not much there with all this sort of like, maybe with the main woman, everyone else just feels kind of like there's bits where there's characters who are fighting the aliens and I don't even know who they are.
Yeah, I thought the characters were quite bland.
Yeah.
But the main character, Alexa Woods, or Lex, yeah.
Okay.
She, came into it more to work because
Yeah,
she
she
was
was-
pretty much the sole survivor, wasn't she?
Yeah.
So
It is a bit, yeah. She's okay. I think possibly I do kind of maybe cartoonish. I don't know if you're meaning about when she's walking about with the alien head and tail as a weapon, and I felt a bit. It felt a little bit silly to me.
I think some of the visuals were extraordinary. I mean, I loved when the Predator ship's coming down to land.
Yeah, that's true. There are some nice ones. My favourite shot is it's near the end when the alien queen is almost getting the girl, and then they see the Predator doing this amazing flip, and then there's a backward spear through its head. It's a very nice shot.
That's cool. Yeah, and that scene at the end when the alien's chasing the woman, the angle of the shot, the alien just feels like it's coming at you. It's just terrifying the way it was shot.
Some nice moments. There's some other ones. I think the Predator, the 3 Predators themselves look a little clunky or a little podgy or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a costume or the lighting or something. But for what it is, it's a monster movie mashup. It does what it does, The backstory plot's a little bit bonkers, and I can understand why Alien fans don't like it because it does muck up with the Alien lore.
It does, because as soon as the face hugger attaches, the chest burster's coming out 5 minutes later.
Well, unless it's a Predator, in which case it takes like the rest of the film. So I think the life cycle of the chestbusters is dependent on the screenwriter and how long he wants them to happen. Yeah, it's literally like 2 or 3 minutes between facehugger and getting burst open for like some of the early characters.
And then full-size alien.
Yeah, and then full-size alien, but then our Predator hero, don't know if he's got a name in this one, is he? But he gets face hugged.
That's right.
Midway through, and nothing for like hours, or at least an hour in the film, and however long that is in the. So yeah, it is all kind of wildly all over the place. But for a film of this ilk, which is kind of schlocky and a bit silly, and is just like that high concept idea of what would happen if we did an Alien versus Predator, which probably comes from Predator 2. Does it initially? That initial.
Yeah, so you see the alien skull in the ship.
Yeah. From that, so I think that was a germ of it. And I remember because there was a video game, there was comic books of this stuff, so it felt like forever before the film actually came out. But now it's been forever since it came out, so feeling old. But yeah, I think is it a particularly good film? Not really, but it's not terrible.
You're there for the Alien versus Predator scenes, and they were well done.
Yeah, they were decent characters, not so much, but it's called Alien versus Predator. What do you want? I'm lost. Did we do
that? That was number 5.
We need to get a board.
Yeah, a board would be good.
My number 4 is, we just mentioned it in passing, Predator 2.
What? Predator 2?
Yeah.
Wow. Gosh.
What's yours?
Alien versus Predator Requiem.
Okay, so you've got that a lot. So you prefer that to the Alien versus Predator then, obviously.
I enjoyed it. I mean, major complaint by everyone that sees the film, it's just too dark.
Yeah.
You can hardly see anything. And I remember that the first time I saw it, and I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I almost put it off when I was watching it this time.
Okay.
But I just stopped it, tweaked my TV settings, went through all the presets, spent a good 10 minutes on it. Got the pictures, so it's just barely watchable.
Okay.
Turn off all the lights, close the curtains.
Okay, well.
All the light sources off.
And you could.
I can make it out. Yeah.
Yeah, because that was a lot of the fight stuff between the Predator and the Alien was the most dark stuff. There was lots of dark stuff up until then as well.
When are the lights going back on?
We're on emergency generators until the power's restored.
It was strange though. I've never seen a film like this so dark. I don't know if it's a cinematography issue or a post-production issue, but there's some reason behind it. I've read somewhere that they thought the costumes of the aliens and the Predators didn't look great, so they just toned it down.
That's what I didn't read anything about it, but I did wonder that.
Yeah, which is a shame. I would have rather, because it looks great. What you do see, it looks fine. So I mean, I would have rather seen rubbish costumes than a film that's so dark.
Right.
But then they made every other scene dark as well. Like scenes that shouldn't be dark were really dark.
Yeah, and rainy.
And I have to say, I really, really enjoyed it. It was really gritty and bleak and disturbing.
Yeah, it was, right.
Probably the most disturbing out of all the films, I would say, some of the stuff in that. You got the hunter and his kid that get killed at the start.
Yeah, the kid was quite, I think at first, I knew it was happening this time because I kind of vaguely remembered it. I hadn't seen this film for a while, probably since it came out. Yeah. But I did remember that. Yeah, so fair enough.
And the hospital ward scene, that was pretty horrible.
Yeah.
But it's like the humans in it. You had a range of characters that were quite quickly developed. You got them straight away, and they felt pretty real for what it was worth. And they're just there. If they're in the way of the Predator just kills them, gets rid of them.
All units report ready.
Yeah.
And the aliens are just going to go for them anyway. So it's just interesting to see a film like that where the humans, doesn't matter if it's a good person or a bad person, they could go.
Yeah.
And I thought, that was really cool.
Yeah. The characters didn't work for me. I mean, this was last on my list. And that's the main thing for me, is because there's a lot of characters in it. I felt you've got like the sheriff, his friend's brother, the woman coming back from army tour, the girlfriend, and it's all this stuff, this teen drama stuff and everything, with a pizza delivery boy and the girl next door, and I'm like, this is not what I want to see in an Alien versus Predator film. So it's a very different tack from the previous film.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Which didn't really work for me. Plus the dark element of it. I didn't really take an awful lot from this film. The one thing I did like was when the survivors have got to make a choice about where they're going.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
But I thought that could have been I thought it could have been better if we had kind of known a little more why they were choosing. I understood why the army woman was she was like going, this is suspicious, I'm an army soldier, whatever she is, I can't remember what her role is. And the army are saying this to us.
And one of the women say we should always trust our government, which got a bit of a laugh from me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Why are we stopping?
It doesn't make any sense. Gilliam's Circle is right in the center of town. We'll be surrounded by those things.
Wait a second, what are you saying?
I think the Colonel was lying.
That's crazy. The government doesn't lie to people.
I suppose that does kind of work, and so it is, but it did kind of feel kind of, wow, like that sheriff guy, he's a pretty nice guy and everything, and they just kind of, he makes one mistake and he gets wiped out, which is true to life, but
that's what I liked about this film.
It's not got the movie magic.
Oh no, it doesn't. It's bleak. It's really bleak. And I think this is the first film where you can see a lot from the Predator's perspective. You've got the Predator that's going to Earth to get rid of the xenomorphs. He's the cleaner.
Yeah.
Apparently this Predator is called Wolf, named after Wolf from Pulp Fiction.
Winston Wolf.
Yeah. I thought that was an interesting concept, and you're with the Predator, you're kind of seeing his mission going badly wrong. When he went to Earth, he wasn't aware of the Predalien.
Right, yeah.
And then he's like, okay, this is a different ball game. And things just spiral way out of control. You know, the aliens are getting everywhere, and the government's sending the nuke, and it's crazy. I thought it was great.
Okay, fair enough. I can see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I like the film that you're describing. The film that I saw didn't quite match up in my.
Thing is, I saw the extended cut, and
I wasn't aware. I didn't. Right. So you Uisdean watched the extended cut, which I didn't know existed. Do you know what was extra about it, or?
Apparently reorders scenes, and it's got extra scenes in it, so there's a bit more development.
Okay.
So we've probably, in a way, seen a different film.
Okay. Since we've kind of watched a different film, I guess. I'll take your copy. I'll watch that, and I'll give a quick synopsis of my review. Right.
7 more minutes of pitch black trash does nothing to save this turkey from bottom place.
So I said Predator 2. We'll maybe come to Predator 2 when.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yep.
So my number 3 is Predators.
And my number.
Your number 3.
3 is Prey.
Okay, fair enough. So we've talked about Predators, so we'll talk about Prey.
Yeah, we can do. Prey I think is awesome.
I didn't know much about it, and then it was just dropped on. Was it on Disney?
Disney Plus, yeah.
No cinema release. I think that was a bit of a shame.
That's a shame. I would have loved to have seen it on the big screen. Yeah. I would have gone to see it. I mean, setting's amazing. Yeah, when's it set? 1750s, around about.
1720, I think it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Set Native American setting, Comanche tribe, I think it is. I didn't know this, but apparently you can watch the film with Comanche, dubbed Comanche.
It's dubbed, yeah.
Yeah, which is a shame. I wish the film had been shot that way, not in English. It kind of takes it down a bit for me, but still it's amazing setting as it is.
Yeah, that is a slight issue, obviously, like that they're talking in just normal English. And I think I noticed there was maybe one or two sort of phrases that were just a little bit. I'm not sure that people would have spoken like that at the time. But these are minor things. Yeah, I was. This is the only second time that I watched it. I watched it when it came on to Disney Plus. I was suitably impressed by it at the time. Maybe I wasn't expecting much because it was just like it felt like, oh, has this been dumped on Disney because it's not going to get it's not good enough for a cinema release. But no, I don't see any reason why it couldn't have had a cinema release. And certainly, it's in the top on number 3 now, so it's in my top 2 at least.
Yeah.
So watching it a second time, I think I liked it a little bit more. Thoroughly good performance by our main girl.
Amber
Midthunder, I want to say. Is that how you pronounce it?
I think she's Native American, and I think a lot of the cast were.
Yeah,
so
I think.
Cool.
Yeah, I think. I'm sure like these days, people, like film producers, would be very wary about doing anything less than that. Like you say, it's a pity they didn't go the full hog and do a proper Comanche one. But I think maybe subtitles for a general audience, might not have.
Should have taken the risk, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it does kind of allude to a sequel at the end of it, so you never know. I mean, I don't think my feeling is, as much as I liked it, maybe just one and done for that.
Yeah.
Maybe that works better for the Predator franchise and why it's still kind of still going.
That's one of the best things about it. There's always a different take on it, I guess.
Yeah. I like this one because I watched them, I think you watched them in a different order from me, but I watched them as they were released. So back to back, I watched The Predator and then Prey. And it was just such a, like, I didn't realise how bad a headache I'd gotten from The Predator until I watched Prey, and you're just like, a streamlined, straightforward story, you know, her against the Predator effectively. I mean, there's others and stuff, but she's the only one who's kind of clued into it. And I like that. She's not the strongest, and she's not necessarily the best hunter.
Yeah,
but
she makes a few mistakes.
Yeah, she makes mistakes. She's not a Mary Sue. She's just like more attuned to what's going on a little bit. She's paying more attention to the little things, and then she's piecing them together. Not quite, you know, still out with our thinking range to like this is an alien from another planet sort of thing. But she knows that something's not right. The rest of them are a little more cavalier, a little more bravado. You know, I like that. And like you say, she makes mistakes. She gets injured. She doesn't always get it right. Makes for a good character arc, and for eventually, you know, a good ending. Maybe just slightly at the end, it maybe just goes on a little too much for me, but it's a minor complaint.
And there's a nice reference to Predator 2.
Yeah, and that's the other thing as well, is that these films have never retconned things or never pretended that sequels don't exist, like Terminator or Halloween or things like that. They all exist, and you know, take them or leave them. You know, they're kind of like, maybe this film wasn't, maybe the last one wasn't the best film ever, but it still exists.
Yeah.
You know.
Apparently, this was the first time a Predator had visited Earth, so this was the first.
All right, so this is ground zero, is it?
So we're not going to get Predator versus dinosaurs.
Yeah, it was nice that it had a slightly lower tech. Mm-hmm. I think that was a wise idea, because obviously it's always kind of felt, one thing you always kind of feel, Predator's kind of obviously outclassed, and it's kind of like easy pickings for a lot of the time, you know, when it's taking on its prey and stuff. But this was nice to kind of just take it down a little bit, make it a little fairer, I suppose.
Yeah.
So solid. Beyond solid, very good film. So number 2, we're kind of like narrowing it down as to what they could be. Yeah. Mine's is Prey. Cool. At number 2. So I've given away my number 1.
Yeah.
Your number 2 is
Predator 2.
Yeah. I think I would have probably put Predator 2 higher. But is it better than Predators?
Oh yeah.
Perhaps. I don't know. It's kind of close for me. I think on this viewing, I just kind of slightly enjoyed Predators and Prey a little more.
Yeah.
But I've always liked Predator 2. It's number 4 rating. It's just because for me the other ones are just so good.
Yeah.
That it just kind of, by comparison, it's not that I don't like it. I mean, there are, as I'm saying, you know, there are films that I don't like. For example, Alien, Predator Requiem, and The Predator. But beyond that, it's obviously not as good as the original. Mm-hmm. But you know, it does something a little different. It expands on the lore a bit without spoiling it. I think some of the later ones, maybe even Predators and the Predator, kind of add stuff into the Predator lore that maybe doesn't really work for me. This one kept it just kind of really nice and tight, and expanded on the scope a bit, but still kept that kind of mystery and that intrigue.
Yeah, I always loved it. I think it's a great action film. I mean, you've got a great action film to begin with. Like, you've got this crazy drug war going on.
Yeah.
And then the Predator just gate crashes it.
Sergeant, are you people in the building? No. Let's go. Hey.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. It's kind of over the top as well, action, but it reminds me of, like, I don't know, when I was watching this thing, I was thinking it's I couldn't think what it was reminding me of, but it's like a Saturday morning cartoon, but with just loads of drugs and violence and gore and nudity. So basically, you know, completely different from a Saturday morning cartoon.
Reminded me of RoboCop a bit at times as well, like the police department stuff and
the news reporters and stuff. Yeah, I think possibly was an influence for that. Was there anyone connected?
Not really. I don't think. I think it's great, and Gary Busey plays Keys. He's always fun. But do you know that Jake Busey, his son, was in The Predator, playing
his son.
His son,
yeah. I don't think I picked up on that the first time, but I did this time because I watched him close, and it was just like, I was like, is that his son? And then he says his name, something Keys.
That's
and I'm like, right. So obviously he's.
But they didn't make much of it, really.
It's a nice little Easter egg for the fans, I guess. Predator 2, yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. It's over the top. It's silly in places. I think it's aged better.
It's good
than other films that you maybe liked at the time, and then you look back on them now and they're like, it's not so good. But I think Predator has aged better. I said that I liked it when it first came out. It's an interesting casting with Danny Glover. Obviously, as you said, Arnold Schwarzenegger couldn't do it.
They were supposed to team up in the end. Arnie was supposed to appear at some point, and it was supposed to be the two of them.
God damn. I think maybe it was placed a little lower for me this time because I think some of his team of characters maybe get a bit wasted a little bit, like Bill Paxton, maybe not used as well as he could have been, and then is just kind of dispatched in a kind of quite mercilessly without even really knowing what's going on.
The scene on the train.
Yeah, but at that point, it's a good scene, but they're on the train. They don't even know what's going on at this point, and then the Predator is teleporting about because 1 minute he's taunting Danny Glover at his friend's grave, and then the next he's like, I'm assuming, across town, jumping on the train or the tube. So it's a good scene, but it just kind of feels like, I don't know, what did Bill Paxton and
Maria Conchita Alonso?
That'll be the one. A little more invested in it and know a little bit more about what was going on before they get, she doesn't get dispatched, I guess, but near enough.
Apparently this film was supposed to be a hard R certificate, so it was toned down a lot.
Oh, okay.
So
it is kind of like over the top as it is, but I like that. So.
I know. One can only wish for a director's cut, but I don't think we'll get that one.
No. Can't imagine what our number one's.
I know. It's just
process of elimination, but could it be Predator?
Yeah.
The 1987 original.
No, I can't beat it.
I think it was. Even though what was your Predator 2 and Prey, good films, but this is a step above. Not many films can reach the heights of Predator.
It's just incredible action film. John McTiernan, Arnie at his prime. Yeah, just a team of macho guys, and you really get that feeling that they work together as a team for a long time. And
Great casting, great characters. You know, the film's taking one turn and then it suddenly takes another. Yeah,
because they're on their mission and you're into that, and then things change.
It's a really solid, simple story. Good character interaction. Everyone kind of doing their thing, and it's what can we say about it? What's not already been said about Predator? As you said, John McTiernan not only doing this in 1987, but then Die Hard in 1988. So I'll have some of whatever he was having back then. That's a 1-2 for the ages.
And that score, it's so original, and
it's a great score. There's a military kind of feel to it. Then there's a jungle kind of natural kind of vibe with that. Don't know what that drum sound is. It's really great.
And there's that kind of mourning theme as well when somebody dies.
With the bugle sort of thing. It's all good stuff. Small grievances. I don't know, just things like tiny little things where I just wish they'd taken that line out because it's an unnecessary kind of like
knock knock or stick around.
Yeah! Stick around. Hostages are inside! Knock, knock.
Yeah, those ones. I mean, they're great Arnie lines, but they're out of character.
Yeah.
And then he does it for that one scene and then never again.
Yeah, you just give him one scene, thankfully.
Yeah. And a couple of lines when you kind of think, oh, I just felt a bit redundant when he's like, covers himself in mud and then the alien can't see him.
He couldn't see me.
Yeah, we know Arnie. But I guess you've got to keep, you know, for the you're writing a film for, you've got to think of the slowest person in the room, I guess.
Yeah.
You got to think of the mums watching or something. No offense to the mums.
Yeah, I can't think of anything bad to say about it.
No.
It's just spot on.
Yeah.
Just great fight scene at the end, everything.
Yeah, totally love this sort of like almost wordless kind of last 20-25 minutes or something. We get really primal, get back to basics.
Yeah.
I love the sportsmanship of the Predator. He's like, okay, you've revealed yourself.
Yeah.
And you don't have your weapons anymore. I'm going to do the same. Takes off his mask and stuff. Yeah. You know, and nothing is said about it. It's all just done brilliantly. You know, great lead up to it. It's not over the top within for what it is. I mean, obviously it's over the top. It's a alien Predator fighting Arnold in the jungle sort of thing. But for what it is, it's the end fight scene is kept quite. It's brutal, but it's quite. It's quite succinct and it doesn't outstay its welcome.
Bad idea.
Funny as well. Funny film. Lots of laughs in it.
Yeah, great cast.
A few laughs in it. And
Jesse Ventura.
Yeah,
he was fun.
Yeah.
The minigun. That's amazing.
This is a gun that's mounted on the side of a helicopter, right?
Yeah, and I think, was this the first film that somebody just carried it about and then it's been ripped off so many times?
Yeah, even in Predators, the big Russian, is he Russian or something like that guy is carrying about.
That's right, yeah.
In terms of their macho-ness, initially it's like, yeah, we're going to kick ass, and then it's like, not so much.
Yeah.
But and they're all excellent in it, really. Well cast, and quite a tight cast as well. You know, you've got about 10 people in total.
Yeah,
you know.
it looks like they were really, slugging it in the jungle. And
yeah, I mean, that's the thing, it's all filmed. I think it doesn't look like, apart from maybe a couple of helicopter scenes where they've obviously got a green screen or background and stuff.
Yeah.
A couple of but it's all kind of feels very real, and like they're in there and they're doing that, like when Arnie's sliding down.
Yeah! Oh, shit!
All the practical magic of films that is often lost these days.
That's it, isn't it? Yeah. You don't get these type of heroes anymore.
No more Arnolds anymore. So we're just a couple of middle-aged men just looking fondly on our youth. It's not like it used to be.
Good old days.
Predator. Do you agree with us?
Let us know in the comments.
But for now, that's all we've got for you today, and hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.